This video is brought to you by the Deck of Many and Humblewood.net. Hello and welcome back to The Gallant Goblin. I'm Theo and today we're unboxing and reviewing the newest premium edition from Beadle Grimm's. This is the gold edition of Eberron Rising from the Last War. Many thanks to the folks at Beadle Grimm's for sending us this review copy. We're also starting a new giveaway. You can win a $25 gift certificate to Beadle Grimm's. They not only sell these full premium sets, but also some of the hardware and other items included in previous boxes. To enter, be a subscriber and leave me a comment down below telling me what you think of this set or what you would like to see included in future Beadle Grimm's premium editions. Tune in to our video that we post on Monday, March the 9th to see if you won. For now, let's jump into the gold edition of Eberron Rising from the Last War. While this set is not limited to 1,000 copies like their platinum sets, this will be a limited run, so if you're interested, visit the link in the description below to pick up your copy. This set supports the campaign setting book of the same name that released in the fall of 2019. This is the first gold edition that Beadle Grimm's has released. Previously, they had platinum editions for Waterdeep Dragon Heist and Baldur's Gate Descent Into Avernus. Those were listed at $499 each. They also had a silver edition of Ghosts of Saltmarsh that was $175. You can see our review of each of those by clicking the eye in the corner of the screen or by checking the video description down below. This gold edition is listed at $249. Included in the box are the book itself, divided into easier to manage booklets, a set of battle maps for your Eberron combat encounters, a feather token and 3 dragon shards your players can earn, along with a pouch to store them in, 11 in-world handouts to add some immersion to your adventures, 5 bonus encounters, each with original art, 2 large poster maps, more encounter cards, a custom DM screen, 5 pre-generated characters, magic item cards, 1 page of art from the short adventure included in the original book, a pretty nifty Adventurers League item, a set of temporary dragonmark tattoos, and a contents guide. First, let's take a look at the book. Eberron Rising from the Last War is an official campaign setting book for 5th edition D&D. It introduces the world of Eberron, a post-war land where magic and technology are intertwined. It's a world of airships, lightning trains, and skyscrapers that pierce the clouds. The book aims to give you everything you need to run your own campaign in Eberron. You get everything included in the official hardcover book here, but the Beadle Grimm's edition is broken down into these easier to manage softcover booklets. Now, book 1 details character creation. It gives you information on how all the traditional D&D races fit into the Eberron setting and introduces new races like changelings, Kalishtar, shifters, and warforged. It also presents a new class, the Artificer, and the idea of dragonmarks, which we'll talk about later. Book 1 also includes a new background, the House Agent, and the idea of group patrons to tie an adventuring party together. Perhaps you're all members of a crime syndicate, an espionage agency, a university, or a religious order, or maybe you all just run a newspaper together or even work for the state government. Book 2 provides an overview of the setting, the nations of Corvair, which is the primary continent of the world of Eberron. It also provides information about the religions of the world. Book 3 focuses on the main city of Sharn, one of the wonders of the continent and the setting for many Eberron-based adventures. Book 4 is all about crafting adventures in the world of Eberron. It details potential antagonists and unique adventuring rules for the setting. And this booklet features the artwork that was originally planned to be on the cover of the official hardcover book, so it finally gets its due. Book 5 details the treasures and magic items of the world, including dragon shards, which we'll come back to later. It also includes the bestiary for Eberron, giving you stat blocks and descriptions for the creatures you may encounter in your adventures. Finally, Book 6 presents the short adventure Forgotten Relics. They also included this little sheet of exclusive and new art that you can show your players during the adventure to enhance the experience. It's designed so you can just hang it up on your DM screen at the appropriate time. Let's talk about some battle maps. These are all on nice textured paper and measured 24 by 30 inches. First, we have a lightning rail train map. This map is adapted from this page of lightning rail train carriages from the original book. Beadle and Grimm's map includes a more stylized version of the cars, plus a nice side view to help you visualize the actual train. On the back, we have a map of some sky bridge intersections. The city of Sharn really emphasizes verticality, and not everyone can take sky coaches and airships everywhere. For the rest of us, sky bridges help us get around the city. But they're also a prime location for a road rage incident. This map is a wee bit plain for my taste, but seems to be adapted from this map of Sharn Heights. It's certainly a map that could get a lot of use in your Sharn-based adventures, and keeping it relatively plain allows you to use it in more situations. Now, when your lightning train arrives at its terminus, at its destination, perhaps there's someone there waiting for you. Luckily, the lightning rail terminus map is also included. The terminus is actually a location from the Forgotten Relics adventure. This map details the upper levels, areas T1 through T9, which are the Sky Coach platform, commerce stairs, tenement tower stairs, top-level apartments, lower-level apartments, Sky Bridge, Graffiti Hall, Dask Hideout, and Interrogation Room, respectively. On the back of the map, we have one for an encounter in the Cabera jungle. Cabera is an untamed frontier full of ancient civilizations, completely cut off from the rest of the world, and a prime place for some jungle-based adventuring. Now, this is really a generic jungle map with paths and a nice suspension bridge over a river. You can certainly use this map in most any forest or jungle-based adventure. Cabera itself is explained in detail in Book 2. Now, the terminus location is continued on this map, which presents areas T10 to T14, namely the station lift, bodega, ticket booth, bathroom, and station platform. On the back is a full airship map, which seems to be based on this image from the book of a Lorander airship. It also features the words poop deck for you fans of scatological humor. Next, we have a map of a fallen colossus. Certainly a fun location for an adventure. The colossus is detailed in Chapter 4 of the book. They really take the plain and utilitarian map from the book and bring the location to life with color, style, and helpful labels, though it's not the easiest map in the world to navigate with all the distinct areas. To help, they really do label the little hatch locations here, and makes the map a little bit more usable from the original one in the original book. And it also includes little dotted lines to help you see where the hatches lead to. This map does omit the hips and legs section of the original, though. And finally, on the back, we have two half-page maps. First, we have sky coaches, which are basically air taxis that ferry people around the city of Sharn. They are also exciting places to have an impromptu combat encounter. I just imagine people falling off of these constantly. And last but not least, everyone knows that nothing bad ever happens in a back alley, so I'm not sure why they included this particular battle map, but if you want to craft an encounter between city buildings, here's the map for you. Next, let's take a look at the hardware. They include this nice little drawstring pouch in order to hold everything. First, we have a feather token. Sharn, as I've mentioned, is a city that reaches up into the clouds. They're also very lax on their guardrail regulations. Thus, it's not uncommon to see random people plummeting through the sky on your way to your dentist appointment. For this reason, many people like to carry around a feather token on their person. As long as you have this in your pocket or pinned to your cloak, when you inevitably stumble off your sky coach, sky bridge, balcony, airship, or high wire between skyscrapers, it slows your fall and prevents you from taking damage when you hit the ground. Next, we have a series of dragon shards. These come in three types. Each of these dragon shards are made of plastic. Eberron dragon shards can be found just about anywhere, but they are particularly abundant in Cabera. They are rosy crystals with crimson swirls inside. They're often ground up into dust to magically power various forms of technology, including lightning rail trains and elemental airships. The dust can also be used in place of spell components that require a cost at your DM's discretion. The kyber crystals are deep blue in color and are found deep underground on cavern walls. Legend says they appear in areas with significant fiendish activity. They are excellent for binding magic and are frequently used for elemental airships, phylacteries, planar binding, and necromantic rites. And Cyberus dragon shards fall from the Ring of Cyberus, which is a ring of crystals that encircles the world. These amber-colored crystals are rare and worth a significant amount of coin. They're used for crafting magical items that require dragon marks for attunement. Larger ones are used for eldritch machines or the creation of legendary items. They also include this nice little leather type cord, and if you'll notice, each of the dragon shards has a little hole in the top of it, so you can make yourself a little dragon shard necklace. This is the custom DM screen included in the set. On the front, we have artwork by Titus Lunter and Suzanne Helmai featuring the Beadle Grimm's pre-generated characters. This DM screen is made up of 4 vertical panels. Let's take a look at each of the interior panels, which really is what matters. The first panel outlines the basics of Eberron, including the months of the year, the words of Sharn, and the Eberron languages. There's also a map of the coast of Zilrago, Breland, and Droam. The second panel features many of the services available to your adventurers, including messaging, healing, and transportation. There's also a list of the important organizations of the world with a short description of each. The third panel details the dragon marks, including their associated houses, races, and guild specialties. Finally, the fourth panel is all about religion, with the deities of the world and their provinces, suggested cleric domains, and common symbols. This is a DM screen that foregoes many of the common information usually included on DM screens, like conditions and rules for various types of encounters. This DM screen is all about the world of Eberron. If you find that you like most of the information, but still need some of your basic DM screen info as well, there are many single-page information sheets available that you can print out and tape to one of these panels on this screen to have the best of both worlds. 5 pre-generated characters are included to help your adventures get off to a quick start. These are great for new players or players who are new to the Eberron setting. They can take these right out of the box and roll with them, or they can steal certain elements and apply them to their own custom characters. I have a player in one of my years-long ongoing campaigns who used a pre-generated character to great effect. These characters appear on the DM screen and in the custom art pieces featured on the bonus encounters included in the set. First, we have Maul, a Warforged fighter. Like most Warforged, he was created to serve and fight in the Long War. But now that the war is over, Maul is looking for a purpose in the great city of Sharn. Maul has a soldier background and a great weapon master fighting style. As in previous sets, the characters here come with a special item. Maul has a banner of shielding. If Maul is holding the banner when taking fire damage, the damage is reduced by 1d4. Next is the Kalishtar cleric, Vishara Vash, who is a worshipper of the Path of Light. Guided by the quarry spirit Vash, Vishara has an acolyte background and hails from the faraway Kashta Keep, the capital of Adar in the lands of Sarlona. Vishara grew frustrated with the leadership there and traveled to Corvair to seek out a new path in a fight against darkness. Vishara begins with a spell scroll of Sanctuary and one of Shield of Faith. Puma is a shifter rogue from the towering wood of the Eldin Reaches. Puma has a Haunted One background due to the fierce vengeance that he sought after the murder of Puma's sister at a young age. Puma traveled to Sharn to get a fresh start. Puma begins with 2 feather tokens. Tab is a changeling bard with a noble background, adopted into the Rosa family in Sharn and raised as an aristocrat. While fully capable of navigating the aristocratic lifestyle, Tab felt equally comfortable among the seedier residents of the back alley taverns of Sharn. Tab begins with the Rosa Signet Ring, which grants advantage on persuasion checks once per long rest. Finally, Ka-Azar Decaneth is a mark of the making human artificer with a guild artisan background. Ka-Azar is a tinkerer and inventor who attended the House Caneth Alchemy Academy, but ended up being betrayed by an instructor who framed Ka-Azar for a crime. With no other options, Ka-Azar fled, hoping to gain enough power to return and seek justice one day. Ka-Azar begins with 2 potions of healing. The pre-generated characters are pretty much in line with the ones from previous sets. They really take advantage of the new races and classes to ensure that your party has a truly Eberron-specific adventure. Now let's talk about the included bonus encounters. These are more robust than the encounters included in previous Beadle Grimm sets, and some of them are closer to one-shots that may fill an entire session. Each one includes a piece of art depicting the pre-generated characters included in the set. First, we have Murder on the Halcyon, an encounter for level 2 characters written by Justice Arman and with art by Colin Boyer. The party uncovers some unscrupulous activities aboard the luxury airship Halcyon. This encounter is designed to be played with the airship battle map. This investigative encounter presents a mystery and a list of witnesses and clues. The party can approach the mystery in a number of different ways, but they also provide an example of how the investigation may unfold to help the DM see how one revelation might lead to the next. For your level 3 party, we have Skybridge Skirmish. A young scholar has been experiencing some really awful nightmares that lead him to a street preacher on the sky bridges of Sharn. This encounter, as you might have guessed, uses the Skybridge map. Skybridge Skirmish was written by Justice Arman and with art by Titus Lunter and Suzanne Helmai, and it's the same art featured on the DM screen. Fallen Colossus is an encounter for a 4th level party written by John Ciccolini and with art by Mark Bem that utilizes the map of the same name. In this adventure, the party has been tasked to tread into the Mournland to the fallen Warforged Colossus to retrieve a possible docent network. The Mournland was once a powerful nation that was devastated at the end of the last war by a cataclysmic event known as the Mourning. Now it's a monster-infested, post-apocalyptic wasteland. Docents are sentient metal spheres studded with dragon shards that are designed to assist Warforged. At levels 5 or 6, your party can race through Kibara using the Kibara map included in the same set. And this one is written by John Ciccolini and with art by Siddharth Chaturvedi. Oh man, names are hard. This is an escort mission as your party has been hired to escort a wagon full of dragon shards for House Thrask. And like all of the best encounters, it begins with the team skydiving out of an airship. A clan of poison dusk lizard folk don't really take kindly to the team absconding with what they view as their property, and so a dramatic chase ensues. And finally, we have something a little bit different. Journey to Salvation is an adventure written by Chris Lindsay that leads into the Oracle of War Adventures League campaign that will take the players across the world of Eberron in a series of 20 adventures that will eventually bring them to level 20 and to an encounter with one of Eberron's most notorious villains. Adventurers League campaigns can be played through the structured Adventurers League system in your community, or your DM can just purchase the adventures on their own and run the campaign in a less formalized system for the regular group, which is the way I usually do it. This adventure sets up the Settlement of Salvation, which will serve as a hub for their upcoming adventures. There's also a newspaper handout included to help flesh out the adventure in the town and the Town of Salvation. And at the conclusion of the adventure, if the players have done especially well, they are each presented with 4 Fastieth dinosaurs that they can use as companions, or even mounts if they happen to be small creatures like halflings or gnomes. And there's an Adventures League certificate for the dinosaurs included in the box too. Most of the encounters included here have fairly open-ended conclusions that can lead to further adventures designed by the DM, though they aren't necessarily connected between each other. These are certainly the best set of encounters Beadle & Grimm's has released so far, and since I'm a big fan of additional creative material like this, I think these little booklets add a whole lot of value to the set. In addition to battle maps, the Beadle & Grimm's boxes also contain large poster maps that you can hang on your game room wall. This set comes with 2 single-sided maps printed on standard poster paper and that come folded up in the box. First, we have a map from the original book of the continent of Corvair, but they made it their own by adding annotations from a writer at the Corenberg Chronicle, which is the largest newspaper in the land. The annotations give you an idea of what you might find in certain areas. For example, the city or the capital of Droam is the Great Crag, and its annotation says, "I'm told this land of monsters is led by a coven of hags. I wouldn't know as I refuse to visit a city named the Great Crag." Apparently, it's a pretty snarky newspaper. But this is a fun map that you can give your players for them to get a bit of a tease about the places that they may visit in their travels. Now, this is the map from the original hardcover book. The two maps are roughly the same size, but the Beadle and Grimm's map is a little bit larger and has a border around the side. Now, the original map is also double-sided and has a map of the entire world on the back, and this map is not included in the Beadle and Grimm set. Next, we have a unique cutaway layered map of the city of Sharn. This map is designed by Lee Mayer and Keith Baker, and it seems to be based on this map from the original book. But this one includes far more detail, including district labels, the location of dragonmark houses, holy sites for the different religious faiths, and the various levels of the city that are represented in the Great Race of the Eight Winds by the creature mascots on the left side of the map. For example, Upper Dura supports the Hippogriff and the Pegasus. Once again, we get a nice set of magic item cards. This deck of 25 tarot-sized cards includes all of the Eberron-specific magic items included in Chapter 5 of the source book. These beautiful cards have an Art Deco design motif and include all the information you need to use the item, including its full description, type, rarity, attunement requirements, and often an in-game quote to provide a little extra flavor. They come in this nice tuck box for storage. Now, I love having magic item cards to hand out to the players when they find or loot or earn a powerful artifact. I think it's really satisfying as a player to have this tangible reward like handed to you after a tough battle or a long investigation. Plus, it's a great reference to have in front of you to speed up gameplay. Now, I don't always trust my players to take home cards for my personal decks, but I keep a little baggie for each player that includes their spell cards, item cards, and any other special tokens or minis that they use. I just hand out the baggies when we sit down at the table. Each Beadle and Grimm set has at least one item that's special and unique. This time they included a set of temporary dragonmark tattoos. A dragonmark is a symbol on the skin of certain people that enhances their abilities. The dragon marks are tied to specific houses and bloodlines. For the purposes of the game, the dragon-marked folks are generally considered sub-races. For example, this is the Mark of Detection. It's tied to House Madani. It sharpens your powers of observation and intuition. House Madani is composed of half-elves, whose headquarters is in the Tower of Inquisitions in the nation of Breland. Your players can make a character using a variant of the half-elf race based on the Mark of Detection. They receive a +2 to Wisdom and a +1 to an ability of their choice. They get to add a d4 to their investigation and insight checks. Once per long rest, they can cast Detect Magic, Detect Poison and Disease, or See Invisibility. And if they have the Spellcasting or Pact Magic class feature, they get access to certain additional spells, including Detect Evil and Good, Arcane Eye, and Legend Lore. Each of the 12 dragon marks has accompanying lore and a subrace option detailed in Chapter 1. The tattoos themselves are applied by holding the tattoo against the skin and using a wet cloth for about 30 seconds. You can peel off the paper on the back of the tattoo and gently rinse the area. They can be removed with rubbing alcohol, baby oil, or a burning hand spell. Now, if you want to use these beautiful designs for something else, you can always scan them with your computer and apply them to handouts of your own, or put them together in an array suitable for printing and hanging, or whatever you like. If you can think of something creative to do with these, leave me a comment down below. Personally, I think they'd make like a nice coaster set. The in-world handouts are always a highlight for me. These are physical documents that you can hand out to your players to further immerse them in the world. The best of them give their own little puzzles or mysteries to uncover. First, we have 4 broadsheets, or newspapers. These can be used to provide flavor to the world and can also give you a ton of possible story hooks to set up your own adventures. They already foreshadow some of the upcoming bonus encounters included in this set. This one here is the Voice of Breland. It's a scaremongering rag warning of danger around every corner. There are traitors in our midst. The mysterious trust is brainwashing innocent civilians, turning them into Zalargo sleeper agents. Morgrave University is bringing in cursed relics that will kill all of us. One item in your own house could kill you and your entire family. What is it? Read the Voice of Breland to find out. There are also 2 editions of the Corenberg Chronicle. First, this copy gives background information on the Mournlands, the race of the 8 Winds, plus some other gossip from around the continent, as you can see. The other chronicle talks about political turmoil between the 12, which is the group of wizards from each of the dragon-marked houses that work together to confront larger threats and settle internal strife. It also teases the race through Kibara encounter, and it provides a lot of background exposition for various parts of the world like the Great Crag and Karnath. And the last broadsheet here is the Sharn Inquisitive, which teases the murder on the Halcyon and the Skybridge skirmish encounters, as well as providing some more flavor and background for the city of Sharn, as you can see here. Next, we have our patron letters. Now remember, the group patrons we discussed earlier, these letters can help you kick off your campaign for your adventuring group if they're tied to particular patrons. And these letters provide much of the information that is included in the source book, such as some of the benefits you get from each patron. First, we have a letter from Delthos Dusthaven of Morgrave University welcoming you to the acquisitions department and outlining your resources and responsibilities. Next, we have a letter from the Kornberg Chronicle to you, the lowly, underpaid contract workers. But what are you doing standing around reading letters when you have a deadline approaching faster than a lightning train? Get to work! And this letter is from the Knights of the Silver Flame. It lays out your expectations, such as destroying fiends and undead, rooting out unnatural shapeshifters and lycanthropes, and confronting members of the Emerald Claw. And the seal here on this letter is not raised, in case you were wondering. This unique letter is written in code, which is hopefully already deciphered for you, perhaps after a particularly good intelligence check. It's from an espionage agency. Now, several different such agencies are included in the book, including the King's Dark Lanterns, which is the intelligence division of the King's Citadel, which is sworn to defend Breland from its enemies and dispense justice in the name of King Boronel. Lots of names in this. Now, considering that the cipher key here is lantern, that seems like a reasonable guess for which espionage agency sent this letter. Or maybe that's just what they want you to think. This little note here actually kickstarts the short adventure included in the original book called Forgotten Relics. This is how your party will meet the quest giver. And finally, we have a little in-world lore about the various planes of existence in Eberron. And this can be handy if your players go to a library or the university to do some research of their own. You can just hand them this if their investigation checks are high enough to find the right book. And this is actually an image from chapter 4 in the book. One thing that's been included in every Beadle Grimm's premium set is encounter cards. These cards are designed to place over your DM screen, allowing you to have all the information and stats you need to run an encounter on your side of the screen, while your players can see the nice art on their side of the screen so they know what they're up against. This set includes Eberron-specific creatures, including Warforged, Quarries, the Lord of Blades, and living spells, but it also includes a few cards for some of the more universal creatures such as goblins, hobgoblins, shadows, and lizardfolk. In total, the box includes 38 new encounter cards. Let's talk about the differences between Silver, Gold, and Platinum editions. Compared to the Silver Saltmarsh edition, this gold set adds another large poster map, the magic item cards, the tattoos, a few more hardware items, more fleshed out custom encounters, and more battle maps. Now, what are we missing compared to the $499 Platinum edition? So first, the two Platinum sets had even more hardware pieces and battle maps. Some of the maps and documents were on higher quality material as well. Avernus included the WizKids War Machine Mini with a custom piece, a plush Lulu, a Sirenscape Audioscape set, a customizable battle map with reusable stickers, 2 custom minis, and the book on D&D Beyond. Dragon Heist also had the D&D Beyond code and added a bunch of Nolzur's unpainted minis and reusable city battle map tiles. So this is clearly aiming right between the two. Personally, I play Dungeons & Dragons to create meaningful and lasting memories with my friends, and I love anything that enhances immersion, that adds creative storytelling ideas, and that gives me more opportunities to just blow the minds of my players. So let's talk about my favorite parts of this Beadle & Grimm's premium set. Now, I always love the in-world documents. Normally, these would be items that you would describe to your players and then kind of read aloud to them. But when you kind of see your players' eyes light up when you hand them that in-world document, it's hard to go back to narration only. It makes me want to kind of up my Photoshop and word processing skills and make some of my own. I also love the custom encounters. The ones in this set are much more fleshed out. I do think they should be considered one-shots instead of encounters. It really feels like we're getting close to the B&G team writing their own campaign, which is what I'm waiting for. Now, this is the first set that they've released for a campaign setting book, which doesn't include its own campaign. So this set provides you with an opportunity to take what's included and craft your own story around it. While they didn't give you a full story to tell, they did give you the pieces you need to get started. You can take, for example, the broadsheets, the custom encounters, the hardware pieces, and the maps and connect the dots to craft your own amazing story. My recommendation to the folks at Beadle Grimm's is to double down on the creative content, though I know that's asking for a lot of hard work. But I happen to know that they have a lot of wonderfully creative folks working there. For setting books like Eberron, Wildmount, Tal'Dorei, Ravnica, and the upcoming Theros campaign setting from Magic the Gathering, I would love to see Beadle Grimm's write their own short campaign, maybe just levels 1 to 5 or even 1 to 3. They can create pre-generated characters with strong ties to the campaign, include art of the campaign on the DM screen, include custom minis of the pre-generated characters, which is what I've been waiting for a long time, and even some of the antagonists for the story maybe, and generally use their amazing content to really laser focus in on telling an amazing cohesive story. The campaign setting books provide a perfect opportunity for that. I know that I can't be the only one who would love to have a new campaign, in those worlds, in Tal'Dorei, in Theros. I'd do it myself if I had the time and talent. I think Beadle Grimm's has the opportunity to fill that niche with style. Now, this is another great premium set. While it leaves out the big, expensive showcase pieces like the Infernal War Machine, it focuses in on giving us more of the bread and butter pieces like the documents, maps, characters, encounters, and reference cards. It does also include a bit more of the hardware bling than Saltmarsh had as well. The creative content is great and all the pieces included are very usable, though you may have to get creative with the tattoos if you don't just want to give yourself a magical tramp stamp. I do wish the DM screen maybe was a bit more efficiently designed. It's beautiful, but I like my DM screens to be just packed completely full of all the information I might need. Or to be maybe somewhat modular so you can slot in what's important for each session. I think there's some room for improvement there, but everything else in the set I'm very happy with. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you prefer platinum, gold, or silver from Beadle Grimm's? What do you think of this set? And don't forget to enter the giveaway for a $25 Beadle Grimm's gift certificate by being a subscriber and leaving a comment on this video giving me your thoughts. Check out our video releasing next Monday, March 9th, 2020 to see if you're the winner. And as a reminder, this product is not within the budget of every player, and nothing in this set is needed to have an amazing Eberron-based adventure with your friends. These are supplementary items intended to enhance and streamline your game for those with a disposable income and inclination to pick it up. What makes Dungeons & Dragons a phenomenon is that all you really need to have some of the best times of your life is some good friends, a set of cheap dice, a couple of pencils and pieces of paper, and a rulebook borrowed from your local library. If you want to add on minis, battle maps, soundscapes, augmented reality headsets, meteorite dice, in-table televisions with animated battle maps, handmade costumes, or 4 years of acting study at Juilliard, then you can certainly do that. But you'll probably be having just as much fun as the 12-year-olds in their parents' basement trying to topple the dictatorship of that tyrant beholder holding the entire city under his cruel and aberrant watchful eye. Enjoy this amazing game in the way that makes you and your friends happy. Thank you again to Beadle Grimm's for sending us this review copy of the gold edition of Eberron Rising from the Last War. Thank you also to our first and loyal sponsor, the Deck of Many. While the world of Eberron is a war-weary land of magic-fueled technology trying to rebuild after a long cataclysm, the Deck of Many's new 5e campaign setting, Humblewood, is a world where various races have peacefully coexisted for as long as anyone can remember. They have not faced their existential threat yet. Their world has not been torn apart, and their peoples have not turned on each other. But that moment is approaching. In Humblewood, you'll play as one of 10 new animal or bird-based races fighting against an encroaching cataclysm that is destroying lives and threatening to end the peace that has held for generations. You and your compatriots must discover what's driving this rising evil while keeping the fragile peace between the sentient birds of the treetops and the animals of the forest floor. The beautifully illustrated and fully featured campaign setting guide is available now. And if you'd like to enhance your game, Beadle Grimm style, the Deck of Many offers their own custom minis, maps, reference cards, standees, and more to add a little color to your Humblewood game. Learn more and order your copy today at humblewood.net. And finally, congratulations to our winner of last week's giveaway, Oscar Siri. You've been with us for a long time. Contact me at thegallantgoblin@gmail.com to claim your prize. And thank you for watching today. You can help me continue to produce videos like this by clicking the little thumbs up button down below if you enjoyed the video and sharing it with your friends. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.